What if you started thinking about exit planning the day that you started or bought your business? That's what we're talking about in Built to Sell by John Warrillow. This is a phenomenal business book. It's one of my top 3 recommended business books when it comes to learning how to buy and sell businesses. And today we're going to do a deep dive into this book that has become truly a must read for any entrepreneur who wants to retire and sell their business at some point in time. This is going to give you a more scalable model, and it's going to give you insights that will really truly change the way that you think about entrepreneurship. I'm Amy Walker, and welcome back to Amy Exits, where we talk all things buying and selling businesses. In Built to Sell, we are going to explore the journey of transforming an ordinary service-based business into a sellable company. And so many small business owners don't realize that this is even possible. Think about it. If you're a photographer and you're taking pictures for a living and you think, okay, well, I can't sell this to another photographer because they're buying me, we have a lot of ground to cover. Or if you are a chiropractor and you're thinking, but my patients come because they like me, why wouldn't they just go to the chiropractor down the street? Just be here with me today and let me show you, and let this book really show you why that does not have to be your story. So in this book, one of the things that you're gonna like is that you're kind of following along with the story of a fictional character, Alex Stapleton, who learns to make his business independent of himself, and thus making it more attractive to buyers. And with that tale, you're getting the lessons and the challenges and the strategies that are just very relatable to so many of us as business owners. Some of the key messages that you're going to love, number one, it's not the first time you've heard it, but we can never have too many reminders of this, is that there is a big difference between working in your business and working on your business. And we want to shift into working on our business, not in it. In the book, they emphasize that by creating a business that can operate without you and focusing on productizing your services and minimizing custom work, it's about making your business appealing to both buyers who want to buy a company that runs smoothly with or without the original owner. So I use a couple of examples, the chiropractor and the photographer. I'm using these for a reason. These are both business owners that I've worked with. So our photographer was an amazing photographer and known in his field for being an expert in posing, and thought there's no way I can have other people do this because they're coming to me because I'm the expert in this space. Well, we got this business owner to shift the way that he thought about his business, and now he's got 3 different cities with different photographers. He has other people booking the phone calls, and he truly could sell this business or just move into being a shareholder business owner because he decided to work on his business and step away from the camera. That same principle could apply with the chiropractor, but guess what? The chiropractor couldn't see it. He was just like, no, they're coming because they want to be treated by me. I'm the doctor. He could develop, teach, and train younger chiropractors to teach them his method, because I truly believe he is better than the average chiropractor. But he just couldn't see that shift and that difference. And so that's the first thing that we have to do, is we have to embrace the mindset difference, that the business isn't requiring us to work in it all the time. In fact, that's not really what it wants from you. It'll take it from you. Like anytime you want to give it work, it'll take it. But that's not really what the business wants or needs from you. It needs you to work on growth strategies. So in literally just a couple of months, this photographer went from one location where he was the only one shooting to having 3 different cities, multiple different photographers, multiple different makeup artists. He's got somebody else that's actually doing his calls and booking his people. He's got other people running his social media, all these parts of his business that he felt so bogged down in. Now he's created something where he can work on the growth of the business and other people can work in the day-to-day of the business. And he is building a business that is absolutely sellable. All right, let's go on to number 2, the importance of scalable products or services. This is super important, the need for your business to be able to scale. So he guides readers on how to identify what can be standardized and sold repeatedly, which is critical if you're trying to increase the value of your business. This book is going to give you the practical steps on refining your offer to enhance the scalability and attract those potential buyers. With this scalable product model, Warlow introduces us to the concept of focusing on a single scalable product or service. He advises us against the jack of all trades model where we're trying to be good at everything and then we're spreading ourselves really thin and trying to be relevant to everyone about everything. Instead, we want to specialize and find a perfect scalable product that leads to higher quality, better efficiency, and ultimately a more sellable business. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to create systems and processes. I mean, I will be honest, I don't think creating systems and processes is the most fun part of your business, but having a business with systems and processes is so much more fun than without. So in this, he emphasizes the importance of creating robust systems and processes. And these allow our business to be able to operate independently of the founder, which is a critical factor for potential buyers. Because if your owner is required and everything has to run through them, then it stands to question that if the owner leaves, is everything going to fall apart without them? So that's a pretty critical piece. Okay, the next thing that he teaches that I just loved is the value of a sales team. I feel like I've been telling people for years and years and years, get a sales team. Because a pivotal moment in that business owner journey comes when you step away from being the person who leads sales and you see that the business can continue to grow with you and the customer base is able to buy from you without having to talk to the owner and without relying on the owner's personal network or their charisma. This chapter really underscores the transformation from personal selling to a repeatable sales strategy. The next thing that he's going to teach you about is the multiples and the teaser. So he dives into the technical aspects of selling a business, such as understanding how businesses are valued and what factors can increase the company's multiple. If you're going to say, I'm worth the top end, you have to be able to prove why that is. Before we jump into how to increase the multiple, let's just even talk about what the multiple is. When your company is being evaluated and you're saying this is what your company can sell for, what they're doing is they're taking your, for the most part, they're taking your EBITDA, which is your earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization. They're also going to bring back in any personal expenses that you paid for in the business. And then the business is going to be multiplied by a number. That number is your multiplier. So if your number, you figure out your EBITDA, it comes out at 100,000 per year. And at that rate, your multiple is going to be honestly pretty low. Let's say you can sell for a 2x multiple, then you're going to sell for 200,000. But maybe you're like, I don't want 200,000, I want more. That's what we're going to talk about, how to get the valuation up. The next principle in the team is talking about managing your team through the transition. This is an often overlooked aspect of preparing your business for sale is how is the team going to transition? If your team is so loyal only to you that they're going to leave as soon as you're gone, that's actually not that's not a helper. So you want loyalty, but you want loyalty to the company. And you want your people to be excited about the work that you're doing. And you want to identify who the key employees are that can help with the transition, and you want to have depth in your bench. So maybe you've got really long-standing people who've been there a long time, but they're all going to retire in the next 5 years. Well, who's behind them? We want to build that team that is ready for transition. And sometimes your launch team is not the same as your transition team, and we need to get clear on who we need in order to be able to transition. Here's an example of that principle. Some people just struggle with change. And you might have somebody on your team who is really great at being the top dog on a small team, but they are unwilling to be a smaller contributor on a bigger team. And they're just not going to go with you. It's good to know that information now and start making adjustments so that your business can, and I'm not saying you have to fire that person, but who's going to come in and replace that person if that person decides to leave when you do? Also, if that person has been there since the beginning, you can also give them a payout when you get your payout. There's a lot of ways to create win-wins, but you just really want to think through what's the team that I need in order to make this business sellable, and who's going to be there, be the person the new owner needs to let this sail through. Now, I really want to ask in the comments down below who on your team you actually think you're going to have to fire before you go go to transition, but I'm not going to ask that because that's not a very nice thing to post online. So instead, what I would love for you to do is just go through the different steps that we covered and say, what's the point that really stood out the most to you? And share with us maybe why you see this as important for getting your business ready to sell. Throughout Built to Sell, John masterfully combines like narrative with actionable advice, and it makes the concepts pretty digestible. I think this is a conversation that sometimes can feel overwhelming or feel like there's so much to learn, but it really simplifies it. And I love that parable storytelling style that you're going to get in this book. So make sure that you grab it, make sure that you read it, add it to your library, go Amazon it right now, because this is truly one of those top 3 game-changing books. To learn more about exit planning, go watch this video where I give you a printable roadmap to walk you through how to navigate what could feel like a complex process, but we're showing it to you in the most simple way possible. For more great videos like this, make sure that you like and subscribe. All right, my friend, keep growing, keep building, and let's get you to your 8-figure exit.